Good morning, my dogs. It is 6:31. It is July 23rd. It is Wednesday. Listening to a little YouTube radio, going through my 40 charts. Already did my 20 at 5:20 workout with my dogs. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. I am the founder of Red Dog Mindset, and here we are another day where you can manage your portfolio approach. You could buy some dips, maybe even play through key areas, trim into strength, have a few little hedges on, and as long as the SPYs and the Qs hold the 8 and 21 day, which is my rule of thumb, you try and look opportunistic. You could always take on more position, less positions, feel it out, but you don't want to fight a trend and you don't want to have FOMO. Anyway, hopefully everyone's feeling well. You take a look here. Monday they sold some strength into 631.50. What they do on Tuesday? Look at that. They tested the 8-day moving average. The SPY has been above the 8 and 21-day moving average pretty much since April 30th. April 30th, May 30th, June 30th, July, whatever, almost 2.5 months of an active sequence to the upside that everyone in the media will make you believe that nobody's trading it. But I'll tell you, the Alpha team's trading it. Most of my freaking guys are at the highs of their year. Red Dog Mindset's thinking straight, executing with confidence. And here we are, almost right back to all-time highs, just like that. Boom. So yesterday you had a chance to buy a dip. You had a way to manage some hedges and stay the course. Hopefully you did so, and hopefully you're not just listening to everybody that says this isn't going to end well and this and that. I don't even want to get into it. Bottom line, it's been a great trend. Qs also held the 8-day above the 8 and 21 day, even stronger. You could have even got it on April 30th here after it made its little V, and high or low. I don't know where this little line came out, but here was your other, your W-ish or your cup and handle, however you want to say it. Bottom line is strong trend. And then even yesterday, the IWM that's been a little wishy-washy. Some guys are like, hey, Red Dog, why do you call this wishy-washy? You had your bottom. It's been trending since, and yesterday didn't even get to the 21 day and took back Monday's low. And now all of a sudden, you have the IWM, on the move, up 237. I know my buddy JC Peretz put out something this weekend on how everyone's still short the small caps. I'm like, I don't talk to anyone short the small caps. I guess I don't talk to opinionated hedge funds who think they know better. But anyway, whatevs. 225.66. I guess we'll see if this, can get above and stay above this little, new tight area. That would definitely broaden things out and, keep things moving along. As far as mega cap techs are concerned, they're not fast, but they've been trending well. I've been buying a dip in Amazon. Every time it pulls in, I roll up options, or most times it's been a nice trend. Every time, 21 day held, 28 day held, didn't even get to the 21 day, and just rolling it up. 240, 250 is right there. Stock options, it's not fast, and I don't buy strength anymore in these things. There's really no momentum here. You just have to buy weakness and manage it as long as it goes. Did the same thing with Google. Managed it the whole way up. This is when we got super involved. And yesterday, actually, no, I sold on Monday. I could have bought it back yesterday, and I didn't. Earnings are after the close today. I'm not taking it. What I did do, though, I'm a glutton for punishment. Yesterday I talked in the 6:30 club about putting on a potential call spread for the print later. I kind of used yesterday's action. Sometimes you could do that to fund the position. So what did I do with the Alpha team? When Tesla was down $3, $4, I bought the $350 calls. The $350 calls were like $4. Accumulated them. And I also traded it, went green, went up $4, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, now I'll create my spread. And I sold the 365s for $275. So if you want to just do quick math, I'm paid $2. So 350 to 365, that's 15. That's $2 risk to make 13 by using my day trading skills with everyone watching and everyone making money also to be involved for later. So If Tesla fails and comes back down to here, the call spread will be a 0, which I'm fine with. I didn't play any other earnings plays. I didn't play Netflix, which wouldn't have worked. I didn't play Goldman. I didn't play JP Morgan. I didn't play Texan. I played none of them. I've been in 20 positions, no earnings plays. I've been just playing the trend, doing options other ways, which has been great. So this one I'm in. Why'd I do 350 by 365? Because 367-ish is some resistance. 350 is in no man's land. So if he's gonna talk autonomous, if he's gonna talk AI, if he's gonna tell everyone he's not that serious about politics, maybe that happens. And if it happens on Wednesday, I have to sit through 2 days. And if it gets above it, it'll be called away and it'll be a nice earnings play. And then we'll see how it reacts after. I'll be honest, I haven't been that active in Tesla. It's been a pain in the ass name, ever since, it was great when everyone thought there was going to be a honeymoon between him and Elon, and I had this great uptrend above the 8 that we made a ton of money. Even made a good money right here, but in this mess, it's been just a friggin' mess. So I'm in a call spread for earnings. Google, I'm not going to be. I'm going to trade it afterwards and see how it goes. I think that there's good possibility here. It works well. I will have my Amazon into it. So if Google is good and these are all up, I have 230 calls on in Amazon. If Google doesn't work and it's down and Amazon's down, maybe I'll add to my options for next week because I still have a chance. So it's a cheaper way to play Google using Amazon. That's the way I'm doing it. You don't have to do it that way. Anyway, somebody like Redler, is Apple finally going to get some traction? I'm in Apple calls. This was my first time I've been in Apple in a long time. Made really good money, sold it. Right around here, I started accumulating some calls. I'm in some stock. Maybe it gets above 217 to see 221 prior to the print. I'm in some stocks, some options. We'll see. It's not a great play. It's lagging. But it's something. It's fine. It's divine. Anyway, with that being said, off the bean path names, I started really focusing on Pony. Not because I like the outsiders from back in the day with Pony Boy and what was the other guys from friggin' Outsiders? I saw the Broadway play too. It was pretty good. I just was getting tight, getting in here. So I'm in stock and options, and I think that there's room. One of my big fun guys thinks this is going to be a $40 name next year. Well, it's going to have to get through 15 first for that. I like the way it looks. I'm long that. I even put it on as a power play yesterday. So guys that have it, are up decent money. It's already up. Look at this. It's up 5%. Pachingo. Anyway, Trim and Trail. Nice off the bean path name. Some guys are in TEM. I think TEM is tricky, really, really tricky. But it looks all right. It's getting tight. It's been under accumulation for a while. I got hurt the other day in it actually, but I still think it looks, pretty good. I went with, Pony instead. Pony. What did I want to say? Some guys like Red Dog, you caught Rivian. How'd you do that? I got lucky with Rivian. I was buying Rivian like at 14, started pulling, and I added to a lot of calls, and then the Lucid news came out, and then all of a sudden Rivian started acting better. So, Rivian, it's not a hyper focus. It's just like a one-off play. I see a lot of them on the road, and we'll see how it goes. All I know is I started buying it here, and then it kind of failed, and I bought a lot of $14 calls and the stock, and looks like there's room, and it's something to do. Sometimes as traders, you got to look for things. You got to look for things to do, and this was a good thing to do. Oh, getting back to China. Remember I was telling you I was buying a ton of FXI? Well, FXI has been on the move. In the past 2 years, I've put FXI in my Redler report, which I put a projection for the year, and I said you accumulate the FXI in your pie chart or some Asian exposure, it's going to catch up, and look at that move. I also started buying Baidu 2 days ago, and Baidu looks finally like it's on its way to at least 105. At least. All this good news keeps coming out, and Baidu couldn't go. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy some options. I bought 2 different sets of options in here. It's looking good. If you look at the weekly chart of Baidu, it looks even better. Like, look at this weekly chart. Remember when Baidu went to 350? Holy cow. So it's right here looking like it's wedging. There's been a lot of options being bought. I think it gets up to at least here, maybe even 113. A lot of money in buying a lot of options in the K-Web, this and that. this thing, it can get up to 155 and still not even be where it was in 2023. So I think this is a pretty good money trade. I'm in it long already, though. But as I'm just trying to find some good things to do, and this to me was a good thing to do. Some guys like Red Dog, you maneuvering ASTS like a friggin' champ. Thank you. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. Anyway, those in the Alpha team yesterday, were buying this dip. It was great. I got really small here. If you remember, we played this breakout, kind of got small, waited, started nibbling in here, bought options in here, did it as a power play, had a big move, did a Red Dog reversal, so I sold most above 58. So that gave me, some leeway to be buying it yesterday, and we bought it in the hole, and it was friggin' awesome. What a great name. This name has been absolutely tremendous for the Alpha team, for Redler All Access, for the 630 Club. And thanks goodness, most of them are all subscribed to Red Dog Mindset also. So they didn't get worn out when this happened. Oh, I'm never touching this again. It failed, which it did. And then what happened the next time? Some names aren't ready when you're ready for it. Anyway, I got a lot of dogs trying to talk to me around the world. Let's see what they're saying. Okay, by the way, on YouTube and T3 Live, you can talk to the dog. Let's see what they're saying. They're saying Tiger's been fabulous. That's true. I'm in that also. What about Rumble? I'll get to that. That came in a little bit more than I wanted to. Hey, Rothman. Rothman's my buddy. What up, Rothman? It's the one name he picked out of all the names I've given him in the last few years. Actually, no, he bought Amazon a long time ago, pre-split, and he's had to work his way through that, and he's finally probably net money across the board. Bob has been good. That's true. All right, let's go. Let's go back. So Tiger, let's go to Tiger first. Chew it, Tiger. What's that? What movie is that from? Scarface. Remember that one? That was good. Anyway, I did buy a lot of options in Tiger. Citigroup upgraded yesterday. It's one of the financial fintechs of China, and China's doing much better. I would think this gets to 14. It looks good. As far as Rumble's concerned, I was buying a lot of this, and I was talking about it very loud here. I was buying $950 calls, buying the stock up here. It was at 1085-ish. I put out there trimming half. I trimmed half, Eddie. Which one's that from? Umfufu from from what was that? Eddie Murphy Raw. So I was able to buy some back here. So I bought some back here, and let's hope that it holds here and continues. I would have thought it could have held in better, but it didn't. It's fine. If you look, from below 9, was it 880 to 1099? Scott, you got to learn how to trim and trail. I know you're not a day trader. You work at a big bank, but all in all, you could trade a little bit better. How many times he tells me how he should have sold this or should have done that. Anyway, I'm kidding. Shaq, I haven't looked at that in a while. It's all right. Shake Shack. Hanging here. I don't really play this name, but it looks all right. ACHR, I bought a dip yesterday. This too came in a little bit more than I would have wanted. But again, if you trade things the right way, which we accumulated, you know how much I accumulated in here? And then I give you 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth day, I was down to like 20%. So that gave me the right to buy a little bit more and get bigger here. Came in a little bit more than it should have, but these things are like air concept plays, and they're pretty erratic. Look what happened here before it came back up. But anyway, I did buy more. Where to get to? Got to as low as 1068. Wow. So I'm adding to this. I don't think it's done. It just came in, and it is what it is. I also added to UMAC, but again, we're trading this correctly, buying it. Look, this is where I was buying it in here. I was my biggest size there, and I got to sell it all the way up. Then they announced a deal, and I went all the way back, sold it up. So I'm buying in here again, and I think at some point it takes this out and sees higher prices. But anyway, I did not trade RXRX. Some guys were talking about that. Looks good. Looks better. Especially if the bios get better. I do this last time. I think somebody said it. It looks like it's trending a little bit. I don't want to do I don't eat cake. Okla's been all right. It's just a little erratic at times. This was when you should have been when it was tight and broke out. Give you a Red Dog reversal here. So I guess you'll see if it holds here. But this is how loose and wide they are. A little loose and wide, but it's better than being boring, right? Some people like Red Dog. What's going on here? What up? How do you subscribe to Power Plays? It's easy. Just go to t3live.com, Baba's been just as good. Tiger's been fabulous. Lily, I haven't looked at Lily since my buddy Eugene named his kid Lily and killed it. Sometimes dumb luck happens. What if he would have named her name Penelope? He would have been in Pfizer. Look at Pfizer, by the way. Pfizer, if Eugene named his daughter Penelope, look what would have been happening for all these years. He would have made nothing. Would have made absolutely nothing. I think she was born so long ago. But because she named her Lily, and bought Eli Lilly, look at this. I think he adjusted for all the splits. He owns it from like $40. And he doesn't want to sell it for taxes. I tried to get him to sell it for taxes up here. But anyway, Lily's hanging in there. It's not really a momentum name anymore. It's just, it's hanging though. It's hanging. I remember I was playing last time I played Lily. I think was right here. Then I hit a top, and then I played against the gap, and then it failed. It looked good. I guess you could say it looks all right. It's not for me. Very loose and wide, but it's okay. I personally don't even like the whole thing. I'd rather see you sweat in a sauna, eat right, and exercise, and take a pill to control your friggin' tendencies. That only lasts for so long, but I didn't say that. Some people think I'm opinionated. Okay. Hey, take a pill for everything. Not me. Anyway, I take a multivitamin. Palantir. I haven't been really trading Palantir that much. Got a little loose and wide yesterday. Held the 21-day. It's all right. It's just not in my crazy go-to list now. I have a big go-to list, and it's been working well. Some people are like, what about Grab? This is getting better, my darties. Here, Scotty, if you want to buy something, go out to August and buy the $6 calls. This looks good in my opinion. It has room to at least 572, and then it gets above that. Look at the weekly chart of Grab, especially since overseas markets are doing so much better. I would think this gets above here. Why can't this see 740? It could. It's not a hyper focus. I'm just in a lot of options for this. To me, some people like this is the Dash of China, of Europe, of whatever, and we killed it in Dash. Killed it. Some guys made their entire friggin' living or net worth in Dash when I said buy it here at 144. It's going to get back to 225, 250, and that's exactly where it is right now. The great trend. It's been a power play a bunch of times. Looks pretty good here. In my opinion, I think this Dash, by 2000, to when we're like talking about Christmas and eggnog and Hanukkah and this and that, it's going to be somewhere around 260, 270, maybe even higher than that. So don't lose track of it. Yesterday they shook the tree and it held in. So if you look on a shorter term time frame, it still looks pretty damn good to me. Burst 233. But you had to buy a dip and you had to trust it. And trade versus a level and then know your prices. Now you can bring this up tier as this pattern builds. What are people trying to say? What are people saying? RDW is tough. Apple looks better. XYZ I'm not playing. Google and Tesla, I told you guys I have a Tesla call spread on. Google, I've already made enough money. I can get a red dog sandwich on it. If you guys want to come. PayPal, yes, I am long PayPal. Well, I saw some news on it. What's it doing today? It's up $1.17. That's not so exciting. It's nice and tight though. It's something I have options in. I drew this yesterday. In order to get really exciting, it's got to get above and stay above 77.36, which is right here. I like it. I mean, I've been in options. I'm in August 1st option, so it's been pretty good. Pretty good. Nvidia, I'm not in. Kind of got we made a lot of money here. Like Google was a hyper focus. Like I had Nvidia eyes. Like I was like ready to go here. Did it with the boys on Spaces, stock on Spaces, whatever it was called, and bought the 150s, 153s here. We could have played the Sox, have done whatever, got through the major area. Now it's just a trending trade. I felt like they were going to shake the tree a little bit. So now it's getting a little loose and wide and needs time. It's not leading the tape. Right now the SPYs are about to make new highs on the year, and this is just ranging out. So give it time. Sometimes NVIDIA is leading and sometimes it's a range trade. And right now, this is your new range. Broke this little area, could have got you out. Still above the 21-day, it's just fine. But this was when it was a hyper focus. Yes, pretty crazy that Texan is down 11%, which again, I'm glad we didn't take it into earnings. And NVIDIA is up $1.60. In nowhere to land though. So sometimes these things are rebuilding and there's no setup, and sometimes they're a hyper focus. And right now, Nvidia is not a hyper focus. Just not. The semis aren't. Crypto, well, I'll leave you with Bitcoin. I still think Bitcoin's hanging in there. Bitcoin's making a new bull type flag. The Bulls. I don't know why Chase loves the Bulls. He's been trapped in bull basketball land and took him away from the Knicks. The Knicks have been fun. But anyway, what does it look like? Just looks like it's still building. Last time I was talking about Bitcoin where we were buying the IBIT calls here at $62 calls for it to take out 112, went to 123. Now, as long as it stays above 115, I think you could stay in it, let it accumulate, and it probably makes another move. Ethereum held in there pretty well too, to be honest. I thought it would get down towards 129, didn't even quite get there yet. I was buying the Ethereum calls here. The $22 calls made a lot of money. It was great. 31.95, but now we'll see if it gets into here. So anyway, gold looks good. I'm in that too. The beauty of this market is like, I don't know why people are saying this is the most hated rally ever. I'm like, they just like to say that. That's crap. If you have a 401k, your statements are doing great. If you have a 529, it's working for college. If you use technicals like most of us traders do, we've been above the 821 day for 2 to 3 months. It has been predatory. If you like crypto, it worked. If you like gold, it's worked. If you like silver, it's worked. If Mag 7's been decent, there's a lot of things going on. I should be making more money. I shouldn't be buying my son a Hyundai friggin' Tucson. I should be getting him, but it's his first car. Everyone's like, what'd you get, Chase? Got him a Hyundai Tucson, which is a nice first car. He wanted a little SUV. My wife wanted to get him a little SUV that was safe, not so crazy because he's going to bang it up. So, but big enough for his feet. So that's what we got him yesterday from a good friend of mine who owns a dealership. So I think we got a good deal. Mikey, we better have gotten a good deal. Otherwise, I'm coming after you. But anyway, it's pretty cool. First car. I remember my first car. It was an 86 Mustang. I was a busboy at El Torito working as an expediter, and I paid $2,700 for it. Blood, sweat, and tears. Things have changed. Anyway, you remember your first car? GME. I have GME, but it's not really doing great. I'd like to see it, get in there to be sexy. I just have options on. All right, guys, I appreciate you. See you soon. Oh, Homebuilders. Homebuilders is doing better. XHB. Yeah, it's a nice candle. I drew this yesterday. Look at that. Nice tight wedge. Remember when I was on Mark Haynes, and Mark Haynes like, so Scott, this wedge on Wall Street, is it going to give investors a wedgie? I'm like, come on, Haynes. Anyway, hopefully he's doing well wherever he is, So make sure you live life at summertime. Get to the beach and have some fun, or go to the mountains. And if you're at your desk, make sure you're prepared. The worst thing ever is to not be having fun over the summer and losing money. So if you're losing money and you don't know why, say it's my fault and figure that shit out. You're probably a stubborn short right now and you got to readjust. Later, guys.